All right, so we are now at number 2, review and approval of the agenda for November 15th, 2023. Are there any corrections or updates to the agenda as distributed?
Madam Chair, I had one thing I wanted to share. That on the agenda, I think it may be a template item, but on the top of the agenda it has our council name, which is E-SPLOST. But as you look into the body on items 4A and 10C, it just says SPLOTS. So may just need an update to say E-SPLOST.
No, that actually is correct. 4A is report on E-SPLOST items that occur at the Board of Education meeting. And 6 is E-SPLOST committee email.
Oh, no, what I meant was on 4A, it just says SPLOTS. So is that just referring to the SPLOTS, which is different from our committee, which is E-SPLOST? Or am I just reading it inappropriately?
I mean, we use SPLOST interchangeably. The E is for education. I mean, we can always add an E there in 4A. Okay. But I mean, when we talk about SPLOST, we're only referring to the E-SPLOST, not the transportation SPLOST or any other SPLOST.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure this just was odd for consistency. Okay, I'm good.
Okay. Any other updates or corrections to the agenda? Okay, so hearing none, can we by unanimous consent agree to the agenda if there are no objections as distributed? All right, hearing none, the meeting agenda is approved as distributed. Review and approval of the meeting minutes from October 25th, 2023. Are there any corrections or additions to the meeting minutes as distributed? All right, hearing none, can we, by unanimous consent, if there are no objections, agree to the meeting minutes for October 25th, 2023? All right, hearing none, the meeting minutes for October 25th, 2023 are now approved as distributed. 4A. I'm not sure if Richard, can you talk, or do you need Eric to? Okay.
I think you can hear me now, but maybe not see me. No, I'm working off an iPad. I don't know. There was some issue with the computer and my phone wouldn't let me log in. And I think Richard made me even from the iPad, I had to be put in as a panelist. So yes, we're having technical challenges.
Yeah, we can see you. We can see you and we can hear you.
Okay, great. So there weren't for November, there were no SPLOST items that were taken. I think in total, I think Eric only had 2 or 3 items, but there weren't any SPLOST items for the November meeting. And that would be the same for 5. So there were no contract updated or no SPLOST contracts awarded.
All right. I was going to say any questions, but that seems to be cut and dry. Should be no questions.
Yeah.
All right. Move right along to 6. Review of the community feedback collected from the E-SPLOST committee email. Daniel?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good evening, everyone. we received a few emails since our last meeting. One email was in regards to meeting videos not being available. I believe Richard replied to that one. There was another email regarding the October 2023 MFR being posted. I believe Richard replied to that email as well. And I saw one other email about committee reports.
Daniel, I was going to say, actually, I need to reply to the E-SPLOST email itself, or the E-SPLOST committee email address. I think I had just replied back to the one that you had sent, which I believe just went to you and Kathy.
Right.
So I can
I
can reply back to that that email.
Okay. Thank you. Let's see. And those were all the emails that we've received since the last meeting, Madam Chair and committee.
All right, thank you very much, Daniel. Richard, quick question in regards to, I guess the timing of when the videos are posted and when the information is posted to the E-SPLOST website. Is there a cadence or?
So I know what has happened in the past is Richard Stevens posts he'll post the videos, and he posts those, and he could correct me if I'm wrong. I believe he posts those to YouTube or to a channel that we have, and in the past I've said, oh yeah, but we also need to post it to this website. So it's something a little different for him. So we normally he can get those up pretty quick when we let him know. And I had emailed him when I saw that email today. I forwarded it to him. He said, yeah, he'd have it up either later today or tomorrow. And then on the other email that we received today about the monthly financial report, I'd received that last Thursday afternoon and hadn't been able to get to it to review it until this morning. And I reviewed that and sent that to IT, or had it sent to IT to be posted. So that should be posted in the next day or so as well.
Okay, so just to be clear, you have to approve the monthly financial reports prior to them being posted on the website, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, so I think Miss Kelly is on, so hopefully she heard that.
Yeah.
All right. Any questions for Richard in regards to anything that he just said? All right. Number 7, monthly report review.
Good evening, Kathy. Good evening, folks. Thank you very much. I'll get started with our report.
Good evening, Mel.
Starting with procurement for E-SPLOST 6. Projects advertised for design services in the period include the Ashford Park Elementary School HVAC replacement and renovations. That's bundled with Idlewood Elementary HVAC system replacement and renovations. The next bundle is design services for Murphy Candler Elementary HVAC system replacement, and that's bundled with the HVAC replacement for the International Student Center at Midway. No contracts were awarded for design services in the period. And projects advertised for construction services in the period include Tony Elementary and Livesey Elementary, the major building system replacement, with an emphasis on HVAC system work at Tony and emphasis on HVAC component system work and fire sprinkler installation at Livesey. That's a CM at risk delivery method. The next bundle that was advertised for construction services includes HVAC replacement and renovations at Ashford Park Elementary and Idlewood Elementary. That also CM at risk delivery method. And the next bundle is the Murphy Candler Elementary and the ISC at Midway HVAC replacement project. That too, CM at risk delivery method. Roof replacement group 1, which is a design build procurement, was also advertised for construction services in October. That group 1 includes Kittredge Magnet, McClendon, and Oakview Elementaries, along with McNair High School. We also advertised roof replacement group 2 for construction services. That group 2 includes Jolly Elementary, Lithonia High School, and Martin Luther King High School. That's a design build procurement method, as is group 1. Contracts awarded for general contractor, meaning GC services in the period, include the Henderson Mill Elementary and Briar Vista Elementary bundle. That's a major building system replacement. The awardee is Centennial Contractor Enterprises. We just call them Centennial. Oh, providing an update on other procurement solicitations that have been in the pipeline. Clarkston High School, the rebid is pending. There's some issues with the budget versus the amount of scope that we really need to perform there. The Nancy Creek facility and the Champion Middle School solicitation was reissued in September. CMAR proposals were received October 12th, and spoiler alert, we're making a recommendation for award of that CMAR at the December board, or we hope to. That parking paving additions group B that was canceled mid last year, we had planned that rebid for November, and spoiler alert, that was advertised specifically on November 2nd. In terms of our active construction projects for E-SPLOST 5, the Cedar Grove High School Auditorium Edition is complete. Ribbon cutting we mentioned last period, and the final project documentation is nearing completion. At Hambrick Elementary, we've reported that substantially complete for a while, and punch list work is nearing completion there as well. The gym HVAC system installation at Kittredge Magnet is active. The contractor installed the equipment pad, and equipment delivery was scheduled for the first week of November. Spoiler alert, we do have that equipment, so that project is proceeding. At our Druid Hills High School and Redan High School baseball improvement project, for Druid Hills High School at the middle, that's substantially complete. Punch list work is essentially complete. And at Redan, work is substantially complete, and the punch list work is nearing completion. Our E.L. Miller HVAC replacement project and building renovations is moving along nicely. The main building classrooms moved to the portables in October, and so our HVAC system work in the main building is underway. Our Chestnut, Woodridge, Laurel Ridge, and Druid Hills Middle School bundle, it's a major building system replacement. The contract was executed, and the contractors started preliminary site investigation and planning. At our Hawthorne Elementary School project, HVAC roofing and some various improvements, we had the kickoff meeting with the contractor on October 7th. The roofing materials were delivered and re-roofing has commenced. The HVAC system work will be based on the equipment lead times. We hope to be able to confirm that in the next 30 days. For our security vestibules, you may recall that work at DeKalb Early College Academy and Elizabeth Andrews High School is lacking a set of final doors. They have been delivered, hardware is installed, projects are complete. Punch list work is ongoing, so we're happy to close out that group pretty soon. Projects for E-SPLOST 5 in design include Rock Chapel Elementary. Schematic design phase work is ongoing, and the district wants to add a security vestibule there, as is the plan. At Stoneview Elementary, the architect submitted 95% construction documents for district review, and confirmation of additional scope really required at that facility is in process. At Kingsley Elementary, we've got to wait on what we call the E-SPLOST 5 budget adjustments before we can push that forward. for our major project status, Cross Keys High School addition and modernization project, the schematic design phase drawings have been submitted. They're in review by the district. And for our new Sequoia High School and Middle School project, the design development phase drawings are underway. For our new Dresden High School Elementary School, my apologies, the schematic design drawings have been submitted. They're in review by the district. And for our Druid Hills High School modernization, the AE Phase 1 design services contract was fully executed, and the design kickoff meeting with the architect MSA PBK was held on October 27th. The new Cross Keys Middle School listed as a future project dependent on land acquisition or other site strategy. In terms of project planning for E-SPLOST 6, our safety security bundle, we call them, includes security vestibules, fire alarms, HVAC controls. We've been asked to investigate adding those scopes of work to current E-SPLOST 5 projects, if budget allows. The projects in E-SPLOST 5 that look like good candidates and we're in motion now, adding security vestibules to them, include Rock Chapel, Livesey, Tony, Stoneview, Kingsley, and Hendersonville Elementary, along with Champion Theme Middle School. Similarly, for our safety security projects, we've been asked to investigate adding fire alarm scopes of work to Briar Vista Elementary, Hawthorne Elementary, Tony, Chestnut, Lower Ridge Elementaries, along with Salem Middle School and the Nancy Creek facility. That rolls us into our report on the monthly financial report data tables. Recall the prior section covers the executive summary, part 1, and the section we'll go through now covers the part 2, the funding and cost recap. Starting with table 1 and 2, where we report our E-SPLOST 5 and 6 funding, starting with our GISVIC reimbursements. No new reimbursements received in October. By way of reminder, our E-SPLOST 4 reimbursements totaled approximately $85 million, and our E-SPLOST 5 reimbursements approximately $742,000, and that totals $85,829,878. Continuing with tables 1 and 2 and our funding, everyone is aware that our E-SPLOST 5 sales tax receipts concluded June 2022 at $616.8 million, and our E-SPLOST 6 sales tax receipts are currently at $191.3 million, which represents an increase of approximately $12.4 million in the period. The forecasted E-SPLOST 6 sales tax receipts for the period were $182.8 million. So we're still $8.5 million above plan, and that's trending nicely compared with where we were last month, about $8.6 million above plan. Tables 1 and 2 also report E-SPLOST 5 and 6 interest earned. For E-SPLOST 5, interest earned on revenue deposits now totals $13,353,072, and that represented an increase of about $1.523 million for the period. Our E-SPLOST 6 interest earned totaled $4,551,754, and that represented an increase of approximately $769,000 for the period. Table 3 reports E-SPLOST 5 and E-SPLOST 6 expenditures. For E-SPLOST 5, total expenditures came in at $411 million through the end of the month, and that's up about $2.5 million. That represents about 53.4% of the current total budget of $770.3 million. And E-SPLOST 6 expenses, approximately $4 million, and that's up $800,000. That's about 0.6% of the current total budget of $700 million. Table 4 provides E-SPLOST 5 cost information. We're happy to report that we're in good shape for all construction-related projects, and that can be seen on, as I mentioned, the table 4 of the financial report of the E-SPLOST 5 Capital Improvement Program for the month of October 2023. That's a mouthful, but that's actually the report title. And you can find that in obviously the MFR, the monthly financial reports. Table 5 in the MFR reports expenses and budgets for E-SPLOST 6. And for those projects that have board approved budgets, we're in good shape. Expenses are in line with expectations. No new delays are reported. In October, we're doing a rebaselining of the program master schedule, draft program master schedule, and we expect to have a report on where we stand at the end of next period. We're trying to get that done before the end of the calendar year. We've got no requests for compensation or technically claims from the architect, engineers, or the builders in the period. And we had one change order for that Cedar Grove High School Auditorium Addition project. Change order number 3 was issued to the contractor Bowen and Watson for $99,653.11. It covered unsuitable soils haul-off and remediation, ADA handrails requested by a code official, water service to the field house requested by the athletic department, and some miscellaneous punch list related items. And we do have a few progress photos for the period. Here's a look at the Kittredge Magnet Gym HVAC installation project. What you see there is the team installing the concrete pad that will house the HVAC equipment. And I think the next slide shows that pad completed and posts erected for the security chain link fence that we install around all of our exterior assets. I mentioned the Hawthorne Elementary School roof replacement work that commenced. Here's a quick shot of some activity on that one. And at E.L. Miller Elementary, the HVAC replacement work is progressing nicely. And these are a couple shots of what we call mechanical rough-in. Those are new units suspended in place. And we'll be coming back with brand new grid and brand new acoustical tile ceilings after all the HVAC system equipment is in place. And that concludes our formal report. We're happy to take questions.
Any questions for Mel in regards to the report, monthly report? All right. Thanks, Mel.
Quite welcome, Kathy. Let me get the screen together for you.
Yep, you're fine.
There we go. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Mel.
You're welcome.
We are at 8A, the facilities maintenance report, the work order and staffing update.
Yep, and good evening, everyone, and thank you. I'm having problems with my visual part, but hopefully you can hear me audio. I will try to share my screen, but please let me know if you can see the spreadsheet. Okay.
Yeah.
We can
hear you.
You
Yep,
can
okay.
see it.
Oh, so
All
we
right,
can
thank
hear
you.
you and see the screen. Yep.
Okay, well, I don't know what's going on with my camera, so maybe that's the good news for tonight. You only get to listen to me, not look at me. So here we go. So our current work tickets for the past month are actually where we currently stand right now. And you can see here again by shop, we are making more headway on a lot of these items. We had over 1,000 kitchen equipment items of all types of again equipment and freezers, and you can see that we're getting those whittled away. Some of those, and actually many of those, are also about supply chain issues. Just getting parts again is some of the major challenges. Getting any kind of associated contractors that we may need, getting those scheduled, and also finding time in order to do these items that may be disruptive to the children, so that we have to do them in off hours. So there's still a lot of coordinating happening there. But overall, right now we're trending, we're getting on the on the top side of it a little bit here. But again, this moves every day and every minute of throughout the day. So that is our current work order list as we know it as of this was pulled on Monday. I will let's see. The other thing we have here now, one moment, is our vacancy list. Okay. All right, and you should be able to see our facility services vacancy list. Again, we've made some headway. I was pleased to share on this part. We had a operations job fair on November 4th. We had 83 participants come in. We have 40 that we are processing. About half of those are going towards just our facility services. About the other 18 to 20 are spread out through the rest of our operations in the matter of anything from business services, warehousing, logistics, transportation, fleet maintenance, as well as school nutrition. So we're looking to gain on some of this, and you can see we're making some headway slowly but surely. But our facility services team continues to move forward, and we still work with many of our contractors where need be in order to get caught up and or just address the items that need to be addressed. And I'll just pull these down a little bit. One note about on line 18, the pool technician. We have two positions allotted. Recently, we signed with our pool maintenance company. There has been some updates to our to some of the rules regarded from the Department of Health on running pools, things such as other activities that have to occur on the daily testing. The pool company that we have is actually performing the maintenance of those on a daily basis. So right now we have 0 of those positions filled, and we are evaluating that moving forward on which direction we need to go with whether to stay with the contractor. But the good news is obviously the pools are in compliance with all Department of Health rules, which actually helps regulate any kind of swimming pools. We are still trying to build up some of our evening workforce, and you'll see where some of these positions are evening. It is something that Mr. Moncrief and our facility services is trying to push. We're trying to build up what we call a second shift, and therefore we can do more of our preventative maintenance again in the off hours when the children and teachers are not present in the schools. This allows us to really get in there and be able to continue to do things again that are more disruptive to the learning environment. That again is also proving to be a little bit of a challenge, as one, it's just hard to find good skilled workers, and two, then trying to get them to work on an evening shift. So, but we kept we keep pressing forward, and we're celebrating all our service workers who come in here and work every day, and are committed to improving the school system. So that concludes our current strength report for facility services, as well as our work ticket information for this month. Be happy to answer any questions. Okay, thank you.
Any questions for Eric?
Okay, I'll toss the ball back to Mel then.
All right. We are now at the Board of Education report. Did anyone attend the November Board of Ed meeting?
I apologize. I had volunteered to attend that meeting, but had a conflict and wasn't able to do it. So, again, my apologies for not making that meeting. I am available for the meeting in December if no one else is attending.
I think we had somebody for that one. Thought we had somebody for that one.
I think I remember the last meeting somebody saying I saying November and somebody else saying December. So if not, I can be sure to make that one or the one in January. And again, I apologize for not making it as I said I would.
Okay, no worries. So December or January?
I can do January.
You know what? I think that Min had said she'd do January. So if you want to do February, that'll be great.
I can do February.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Did anybody want to do March?
Madam Chair, I'll be glad to take March.
All right, thanks, Kevin.
You bet.
I think that's where we're going to stop right there. So we'll do April going forward, and probably in February. Any questions for me? Okay. Now, do you have the 2024 schedule? It should be page 6. Yep. So this is our 2024 meeting schedule. We need to decide for May. Normally it would be scheduled for the 22nd, which is graduation day. And not sure if anybody has any scholars graduating in 2024 or maybe some friends. Oh, Sabrina, I see you. I see you. Okay, well, you got to shout them out. So if we want to move our meeting to the 15th or the 29th. Anybody have any?
I would vote for the 15th. I think the 29th is probably Memorial Day weekend. I haven't looked at that.
Yeah,
Or is it-
it's the week of, but it's that Wednesday.
Yeah, I would still go. I think I would still go with the 15th.
Okay. Anybody else have any issues with moving it to the 15th or the 29th?
Madam Chair, I would prefer the 15th, along the lines with Tommy. Yeah, that week of the 29th. Yeah, people are gonna be in vacation mode, so I'd much rather we stay in business mode and do it on the 15th.
Okay. Anybody have any objections to moving the meeting to the 15th? All right, can we, by unanimous consent, move our May meeting from the 22nd, from the 22nd to the 15th of May, if there are no objections? All right, hearing none, our meeting for May will be the 15th. And hopefully nobody has any objections to, we did move the meeting for November, which we normally have a conflict with Thanksgiving. It looks like it's moved to the 20th. And I'm not sure when Thanksgiving is falling next year. I would assume it's gonna fall on the,
Actually, I think it worked out where the 20th was the 4th
it was,
Wednesday.
is it? Okay,
Looks like. Yeah.
okay, great. And I don't think we had any other conflict. Just wanted to point out that we do have an in-person meeting for February. We scheduled it for February so that we scheduled it far in advance so people can make arrangements. And we're meeting at Indian Creek Elementary School so that we can, after our meeting, take a tour of the building. There have been some new members who have joined who have not taken a tour of a building, one of our projects. So we want to make sure that that we do tour the facilities that we're we have governance over. So we want to see what's going on and how we're doing. So please make note of that. Any questions in regards to the 2024 meeting schedule?
So actually, I was wrong, Kathy. The 20th is the 3rd, but I think when we discussed the agenda, we had set it on the 20th, knowing the 27th was day before Thanksgiving.
Okay. Well, nobody said they had any objections, so I think we're good.
Yeah.
All right. So that is our meeting schedule for next year. The next on our agenda, dang, did I skip down? You know what? I think I skipped. I'm sorry, I apologize. We didn't do notifications of upcoming community meetings and other events.
Yeah, we didn't have any, or
Okay.
we don't have any.
Okay, good, then I skipped right.
Right, exactly.
10C, the annual E-SPLOST audit, I guess I should say E-SPLOST audit.
Yeah,
Update.
that's right. That's the annual E-SPLOST audit. So we have our firm, Malden and Jenkins, working on that. They've requested some additional information, which we have sent in. They've just requested some that we're still working on. And when I inquired today, I was told it'll probably still be a couple of months before that is 100% completed. Did not get a definite date, but was told a couple of months.
Okay. Normally, do they do that at the end of each SPLOST life, or?
No, it's an annual where they come in and they look at, let's see, so this is the 2022. So it's a year removed, I believe. So we just finished the SPLOST year 23. So they're actually looking at the 2022, and they come in and they have 10 different criteria that they look at the SPLOST program, and they do a sample of, I can't remember how many of projects for each of those criteria. The past ones are actually on our website. And this is different from the comprehensive SPLOST audit that previous superintendent had requested, and that one is still underway as well by a completely different firm.
Any questions in regards to the annual E-SPLOST audit? All right, moving right along to unfinished business. Bylaws update, Daniel?
Thank you again, Madam Chair. Like I stated at the last meeting, the committee bylaws subcommittee has met, and we have a proposed set of bylaws changes. Those changes have been emailed to the full committee. Hopefully the committee has reviewed them. I know we and look forward to hearing feedback about the changes, and then we can discuss them more during our next meeting. So any questions about any of the proposed changes or any other suggestions?
All right, thank you very much, Daniel, for you and the subcommittee's work on the bylaws. Look
All right.
forward to seeing, to reviewing them next month. Just as a FYI, since we are reviewing the bylaws, we may have an extra long meeting. So we normally get out a little bit earlier than 7:30. So we probably will go to 7:30 for January. So just be prepared. All right, moving right along to call for candidate update. Richard?
All right, so we had submitted a letter for Mr. Hofstadter to sign and send to the superintendent, but that letter was revised and resent to him today because when we first sent the letter in to notify the superintendent, we there had been the vote to remove Sarah. The current one includes the removal and the resignation. So we're actually looking for 2 committee members. What we've talked about being this close to the holidays and the kids getting out, that we're going to get everything set up and start the search for candidates in January. So that is fresh on everybody's mind and they're not being distracted with the holidays and with kids being home. So we're going to work towards that goal. So when we get back from the break in January, we can go ahead and put the call for candidates out and leave that out for and I think they typically leave it out 4 or 5 weeks. But I'll work with our staff on that.
All right, thank you for that update, Richard.
And this is going to be a pool of candidates so that we can not only fill these 2 positions, but also have a pool for, if someone else needs to leave the committee, then we'll already have someone or have, a few people lined up that we can call and contact.
Which is what we've done in the past.
Yes. And it's been a couple of years since we've done it, so we need to refresh the list.
Any questions from anybody on the committee in regards to that? So just as a FYI as well, we will be asking for the committee to help interview once the pool of candidates has been narrowed down or received and narrowed down to interview. So if you've never done it, please consider volunteering to do it. And it will probably, I think, be during the day. And I'm not sure if we've ever done it virtually. I think we have done it virtually.
We've last round, Madam Chair, we did do virtually.
Yeah. So that option, yep, thanks, Daniel, is available as well. So if you can't physically be there, then you can do it via Zoom or Teams. So next on collection of recommendations from our meeting and follow-up matters. I did not hear any. Did anybody hear any recommendations from this meeting? Anything that need to be followed up on?
I didn't record any either, so other than I need to reply back to the committee email address, those responses that I sent to you and Daniel earlier today. I'll reply back.
Okay.
Yeah. The only other thing, Madam Chair, is just everyone, please review the proposed bylaws changes so that we'll be better prepared for the discussion during the January meeting.
Madam Chair, I would second what Daniel said. The team has put together quite a long list of suggestions. And so, I mean, you had mentioned that we're going to potentially go over. I think it may go a little bit further than that because of the breadth of the changes. Just so, like Daniel said, please review them so we can kind of cruise through them real quick.
This is Lisa Wright. Can you please resend the updated bylaw list, please?
I'll resend them shortly.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any questions from anybody in regards to anything that's been discussed? All right, moving right along to announcements. Any announcements for our committee? Excuse me.
The only thing I would like to say is, and I forgot to do that in my report, my apologies, but I want to thank the bylaws subcommittee again for their hard work in putting together the proposed changes. Thanks again.
I would just like to share a couple of announcements. First, I want to thank everyone for their service to this committee. This is the season of being thankful, and I'm very grateful for all of you. Today is my 1-year anniversary now. I'm 1 year old in DeKalb County Schools, and I'm in dog years, so it feels like 8. But I'm very proud of our team. They are working. I think we are tracking now just over 100 capital improvement projects across the district. Obviously, many of those are SPLOST. So I want to thank Richard and Fermel and their teams with an AECOM, as well as all the entire team that makes all this work. I think currently, when we looked, we have 67 physically active projects, and then the remaining of the 100, a little over 100, are in either planning or closeout. So there is a lot of activity done, and we have a lot of tired people, but they keep pushing forward. So I wanted to just put a shout out to our team, and again, shout out to this advisory committee. Also would like to thank members of our board, and of course our citizens for supporting SPLOST, because without that, this becomes much more difficult and complex to do. Lastly, we do have our 9th and final town hall meeting. That'll be scheduled for tomorrow night at Dunwoody High School. The previous 8 been all around the district, and it's been a great experience. We do share some interesting data about the schools, but we also open it up to questions and also take a lot of feedback. So we heard a lot of great things about facilities, as well as academics and all kinds of other very important items for the school district. So if you'd like to, we'll be out there at 6 o'clock tomorrow night at Dunwoody High School. And with that, since we won't see everyone until January, I wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving and a great holiday season. And we'll see you next year.
Yep. Thank you so much, Eric. Do appreciate that. And coming from the chair, also wanted to, since we are in a season of gratitude, thank each and every one of our committee members for being diligent in staying with the commitment with the E-SPLOST Advisory Committee. I know once a month for an hour and a half is little, but it could be major if you got anything. You have some personal stuff going on, you got work stuff going on. We're doing this obviously still during a pandemic. So just wanted to give my personal thanks to each and every one of our committee members. Know that when I see your faces and I'm counting, who's here for our quorum, it's just nice to know that you have committed and you're staying with your commitment. So thank you. And just as a reminder, again, our next meeting will be January 24th, 2024. So we do have the month of December off. So please spend that time with your families and enjoy the holiday season. Thank you for everything that you do and everything that you will do. And looking forward to a good new year. So we'll see you in the new year. It is now 6:57. Unless anybody has any other announcements, our meeting for November is now adjourned.